This changes everything we thought we knew about Sophie Beckett. The Part 2 trailer didn't just tease romance, it didn't just promise a rescue, it quietly confirmed the one theory fans have been whispering about since Episode 1. Sophie is not who society believes she is, and once Benedict discovers the truth, the entire Bridgerton world will shift in ways nobody is prepared for. From the very beginning of Bridgerton Season 4, Sophie has been positioned as the outsider, the maid, the invisible girl, the one society refuses to see. But Part 2's trailer makes it painfully clear that this invisibility was never about insignificance, it was about concealment. The first major clue? The necklace. That delicate, almost understated piece of jewelry Sophie has worn repeatedly is not random. It is not just sentimental. The trailer lingers on it in a way that feels intentional, almost symbolic. And if you have been paying attention, you know jewelry in this universe always carries meaning. That necklace is not decoration, it is evidence. Because here is what the trailer strongly suggests without saying it outright. Sophie's mother was not a servant. She was a woman of status, a woman connected to nobility. And that necklace, it may be the last remaining proof of that lineage, a hidden inheritance disguised as something simple. And suddenly, every cruel decision made by Lady Araminta starts to make sense. Araminta's hatred has always felt deeper than stepmother jealousy. It has felt strategic, calculated, as if she was protecting something or hiding something. The trailer confirms that Araminta knows more about Sophie's past than Sophie herself does. And if Sophie is truly the legitimate daughter of a nobleman, that changes everything. Because in Regency society, legitimacy is power. If Sophie was legally recognized, if her birth was acknowledged, if that inheritance was properly secured, Araminta and her daughters could lose everything. Titles, property, status, security, the very life they cling to. Suddenly, Sophie is not just a maid they can control, she is a threat. And that is why the arrest becomes even darker. The accusation of theft is not just cruelty, it is a move of desperation. If Sophie is imprisoned, discredited, or ruined publicly, then any claim she has to her father's estate becomes meaningless. A jailed maid cannot demand justice. A disgraced woman cannot challenge nobility. Araminta is not just trying to hurt Sophie, she is trying to erase her. But here is where the trailer shifts tone. We see Benedict's expression change, the longing, the regret, the anguish, and then something else. Determination. Because once Benedict begins investigating Sophie's past, once he realizes that the woman he loves may have been robbed of her birthright, this is no longer about romance. This becomes about justice. And this is where another key player enters the equation. Penelope Featherington, secretly known as Lady Whistledown, has always controlled information. Secrets are her currency. And if there's documentation of Sophie's lineage, hidden records, whispered rumors about a nobleman's illegitimate daughter, Penelope would know where to look. The trailer hints at conversations happening behind closed doors, urgent discussions, desperate alliances. And if Benedict teams up with Lady Whistledown to uncover Sophie's truth, we are about to witness a power shift unlike anything we have seen before. Because imagine this moment. Benedict standing in a courtroom or before the ton, armed with proof, armed with documentation, armed with the truth, revealing that Sophie Beckett is not beneath him, she is his equal, she always was. And that would mean his original refusal to marry her was based on a lie society fed him. The tragedy? Sophie herself may not even know. The trailer gives subtle hints that her identity revelation could happen during the rescue, that Benedict might discover the truth first, that he might fight for her before she even understands what she has lost, which raises the most devastating question of all. When Sophie finally learns she was never powerless, that she was born with status stolen from her, will it heal her wounds or will it break her completely?
Sophie's arrest is not just a dramatic plot twist. It is the moment the fantasy shatters. Up until now, her story has been about longing, hidden identity, forbidden love. But Part Two's trailer makes it painfully clear that we are stepping into darker territory. This is no longer about stolen glances and secret meetings. This is about survival. Lady Araminta does not hesitate. The accusation of theft is cold, calculated, and perfectly timed. Sophie is vulnerable. Benedict is emotionally conflicted. The household power dynamic is fragile, and Aramenta strikes exactly when Sophie has the least protection. And here is the terrifying reality of the Regency world inside Bridgerton. A maid's word means nothing against a noblewoman's accusation. Sophie has no witnesses willing to defend her, no title to shield her, no legal standing. Once she's taken away, she becomes invisible again. But this time, it is not social invisibility. It is institutional erasure. The trailer hints that she remains imprisoned longer than expected, long enough for panic to set in, long enough for Benedict to realize that this is not a misunderstanding. It is a deliberate attempt to destroy her. And this is where Benedict's redemption truly begins. Because before this moment, he hesitated. He calculated what he would lose, his wealth, his position, his comfort. But once Sophie is in danger, none of that matters anymore. The fear in his eyes is not about scandal. It is about losing her forever. He starts searching, questioning, confronting. And when doors close in his face, when society refuses to help him protect a maid, something shifts inside him. The trailer shows that quiet transformation. Benedict is no longer the artist hiding from responsibility. He becomes a man willing to challenge the very system that raised him. But he cannot do it alone. The whispers surrounding Penelope Featherington grow louder. The possibility that Lady Whistledown becomes involved is not random, it is strategic. If Araminta used reputation as a weapon, then reputation can be reclaimed the same way. If Lady Whistledown exposes the truth publicly, if she questions the legitimacy of the theft accusation, the Ton will start to doubt Araminta. And doubt is dangerous. Because once society begins to question a noblewoman's integrity, her entire foundation cracks. But here's the tension the trailer does not resolve. What if Araminta anticipated this? What if she has documents hidden? What if she manipulated records? What if Sophie's inheritance was legally altered years ago? If the system itself was tampered with, can Benedict actually save her in time? Or is he walking into a trap far bigger than he realizes? And if Araminta is willing to imprison Sophie to protect her secrets, what else is she capable of doing? The most explosive moment hinted at in the trailer is not the rescue, it is the realization. For years, Benedict has been haunted by the lady in silver from the masquerade ball, the woman who captivated him instantly, the woman he searched for endlessly, the woman he believed belonged to a world just slightly out of reach.
Now here is where the trailer becomes almost suspiciously strategic. There are hints, glimpses, emotional reactions from the Bridgerton family, formal attire, quiet, tender exchanges, the energy of closure. Fans are already convinced that Benedict and Sophie's wedding is coming, and honestly, after everything they endure, it feels earned. But the trailer subtly plants another possibility: Lady Violet Bridgerton. Her storyline with Lord Marcus Anderson has been slowly building, not loud, not dramatic, but steady, mature, intentional. And the Part 2 footage gives their connection new depth. There is softness, there is vulnerability, there is a sense that Violet is allowing herself something she denied for years: personal happiness. If Violet marries again, it is monumental, not just romantically, but structurally. Because if she moves out of Bridgerton House, the entire family dynamic shifts. And that is where another exciting thread re-enters the narrative: Anthony and Kate. Their confirmed return in Part 2 is not random fan service. It aligns perfectly with the house transition theory. If Violet remarries, Anthony and Kate could step fully into their role as heads of the household. And the trailer energy surrounding Anthony is different this time: focused, protective, no longer the impulsive older brother, but the Viscount ready to defend his family. If he stands beside Benedict during the confrontation with Araminta, that scene will carry enormous weight because it shows growth across seasons, it shows unity, it shows the Bridgertons operating as a force. But imagine the emotional symmetry of two weddings in one finale, a mother reclaiming love, a son redefining it. That visual alone feels powerful enough to close a season. Yet the trailer never confirms it outright, which means the possibility of heartbreak still lingers. What if one wedding happens and the other is postponed? What if Violet chooses independence instead? Or what if Sophie, even after everything, is not ready to step into a public marriage? The hints are there, the setup is intentional, but the outcome remains just out of reach. And that uncertainty is deliberate. Because the biggest shock might not be who gets married, but who decides not to. Sophie's identity reveal does more than resolve her storyline. It shifts the thematic direction of the entire series. If a maid can secretly be noble, if class barriers can collapse through hidden lineage, if injustice can be exposed publicly, then future love stories can push boundaries even further. The trailer quietly sets up this evolution. Francesca's lingering uncertainty in her marriage, the subtle emotional tension surrounding Michaela, the internal questioning that feels deeper than surface dissatisfaction. These are not random moments, they are foundations. And then there is Eloise, still independent, still resistant, still refusing to conform. If Sophie's story challenges class, Eloise's could challenge structure itself.